Welcome to another fishing and ice report on Lake Simcoe as of January the 19th, 2018. Brought to you by Clam. Most of the lake has 12 to 16 inches of good ice right now, but some of the pressure cracks are becoming impassable. Make sure you have an alternate route back to shore. Fishing through most of the lake has been incredible for whitefish and trout and even perch. South End has probably been the best, but everywhere seems to be producing good fish in good numbers. The best results have come in the morning and low light conditions, but the afternoon bite hasn't been bad, particularly for whitefish. There hasn't been a lot of double-digit trout days out there, but the ones that are coming are good average size. Friday was a great day for a good friend Roy Adams and myself. We went out looking for trout, but we ran into a lot of whitefish. Seemed to be very aggressive in the morning, and vibratos and other spoons seemed to do the trick. We fished them off the bottom in low light conditions, and they were pretty aggressive. We did manage to lose just about as many as we caught, going 8 for 12 in the morning, and just when the bite was really good, we decided to move. There's only so many days that you can jump all over the lake without concern of ice conditions other than the pressure cracks. Seemed to be whitefish everywhere, although the bite died off in the afternoon, so we just roamed around the lake. There's not a lot of snow in the lake either, so you're kind of zigzagging into snow piles so you can get some lubrication for your sliders on your sleds. Most of the fish we caught were naturals. The combination of stocking and natural reproduction has really helped keep the population steady during a lot of these pressure times, particularly when you have a winter like this. Needless to say, a lot of people are eating whitefish these days. Most of the time we were fishing very shallow, and the fish were pretty spread out. We come in ones and twos, rarely seen a school of more than 2 fish. The fish that did come in were hunting, and at least they'd put a lure in their mouth. Not sure if it was a feed bite or a reaction bite, but got hooked either way. And it was windy out as well. Almost had to put the poles up in my Voyager. My Clam Voyager is cavernous and lots of room to do everything, and it's warm. It didn't even have to have the heater on. Try to release most of the fish in the hole. Sometimes the hooks are so deep you have to pull them out to do a little surgery, but other than that, most of them will come off in the hole. I try to pull them out far enough so I can see if all the fins are intact, to see if it's a stock fish or a natural. Always amazes me how whitefish sometimes will get fixated on some part of your lure rather than the lure itself. This fish here came back and put this lure in his mouth 4 or 5 times before I finally hooked him. I don't know if he was actually looking for food or he just thought that the lure was out of place down there. Eventually, he finally bit the lure at the wrong time during an upstroke, and I caught him. But he sure hung around a long time. I see this more often in small trout. More often you'll see a whitefish scrounge the bottom after you've been digging up the dirt on there. The lure will be above it, and you'll be looking for crustaceans and so on that have been uncovered by your lure. Drop shots with bottom baits and very small baits on the top might have been a better choice for these fish. I've caught so many fish lately on Berkeley Power Nymphs on a drop shot and a number 6 hook about 15 inches above whatever I have on the bottom. But the vibrato is such a great bait for calling fish in from long distances, whereas bottom baits, there has to be fish in the area before they can actually see it. After all, we were actually fishing for trout. The whitefish just showed up. Finally, after about the 4th or 5th time that the fish actually put it in its mouth, I hooked him, and that fish became dinner. This fish wanted to be caught anyway, so it was a matter of time before me or somebody else caught him. At the end of the day, on Saturday the 20th, the lake was holding up pretty good. There wasn't a lot of wet spots, just enough snow to run. We're heading into a warm spell for a couple of days, and those pressure cracks are going to become extremely dangerous, so be careful. Have some fun out there.